On this episode of the Mack Talks, we have Phil Hall on the show. Phil is the senior enterprise editor for Fairfield County Business Journal. He's the co-host of a syndicated radio show called Nutmeg Chatter. He's the host of an award-winning SoundCloud podcast called The Online Movie Show. He's the author of 8 books. He's an actor, been in over 20 films. He also owned a New York public relations agency for over 10 years. We're excited to have him on the show. Let's go.
Chase, tell the people what the Mack Talks are.
If you're an entrepreneur, impactful leader, or business owner, the Mack Talks are that vehicle that brings you the stories that you need to hear.
That's right, real stories from real leaders. Check us out every Thursday. Welcome to the Mack Talks. I am your host, Scott Johnson, and today, if you didn't know, is the beginning of sweater season. Chase Hutchison on my right.
Hey, guys.
What's up with my sweater? Can you please describe my sweater? I'm coming out
First of all,
into sweater season, and I'm coming out strong. I broke out a serious sweater.
Yeah.
Give a description of the sweater.
I don't know. I didn't get the memo this morning. I didn't know it was going to be a battle of the sweaters in
It's
here.
sweater
I'm missing
season.
out. But, Scott, you look like Mr. Rogers just broke out of his nursing home and
Wow.
went to go rob the library.
Nice.
So that's what you're
my
looking
man.
like.
My man across from me, Phil Hall,
Also powerful sweater.
also rocking the sweater. Had that feeling. It's a cold day.
It could be worse, and it probably will be.
Yeah, it definitely will be. Well, thanks for joining us, man. I know that we've kind of been friends, kind of dating back for a while when you did the article about us, which was cool because that was like the first article that was done, about us on the Fairfield County Business Journal, right? So thank you for joining us, and we just want to get into your story a little bit, and then we're going to run through some topics on Mack Move or Whack Move. So currently, you are the senior enterprise editor at Fairfield County Business Journal.
That is correct.
And what exactly are your roles inside of that?
Within there, I basically do a variety of functions. I'm a general assignment reporter, go out and look for interesting stories, including the one I did on Mack Media Group. Also help with the social media outreach for both the Fairfield County and the Westchester County Business Journal, our sister publication. And also try to come up with new ways to market the publication out to get it to more readers, because that's one of the great challenges in the media industry is finding new audiences, because it's very easy to just play to the what you have.
Yeah.
But after a while, that can get stale, and there are many, many people out there who may not be aware of us, and I'd like them to find us.
Yeah. And I mean, you do a good job, obviously. You're reviewing amazing podcasts like this one, huh? There,
Yep.
Chase?
Yeah, that was a
that
fun
right?
interview.
It was a good time. We had a good time. That's take us back. So you've been in the game for a long time, right?
Oh, a little too long, yes.
Yeah, right?
Going back to the 1980s when I was in college.
And you've watched kind of how this industry has kind of evolved, and you've kind of been in this industry in and out, lots of different projects and stuff. So why don't you take us back to, what made you get into, this career?
Well, I have to go all the way back to when I was 13 years old, when I, for whatever reason,
Young
decided
lad.
I wanted to be a reporter, and I thought that would be a great job. And through high school, that's what I wanted to do. I was on the school newspaper. And I remember the first day of college, I went to Pace University, and orientation. I was sitting in front of the class, and whichever teacher was leading the orientation says, how many of you know what you want for your career? And I raised my hand, and there was laughter, and I couldn't understand why, and I turned around, and I was the only one in the class that had my hand up.
Yeah.
And I knew what I wanted to do. Actually, the first day of college, I went straight to the campus newspaper, and the editor was there, and I said, hi, I'd like to be a writer for the paper. And he looked at me rather strangely, because apparently nobody ever did that.
Yeah.
And I wrote for the college newspaper while I was at school.
Where did you grow up? What did you grow up in Connecticut?
No,
or New York?
I'm actually from New York City.
Okay, cool. Nice. So you grew up in New York, and then when you went to college, where did you go?
That was Pace University when it was in White Plains.
Okay.
Because right now the campus is strictly for the law school, but back in the 80s, it was Pace University hyphen the College of White Plains.
Yep. And so you worked for the college station as well?
Not for the college station, because we didn't have one.
Okay.
I did an internship also in my freshman year, which was unusual, with the Westchester Red Cross.
Yep.
So that was my introduction to the public relations industry. And when I was in my sophomore going into junior years, I got a chance to have an internship at the United Nations. One of my professors had his own one-man news bureau out of the UN, and I was brought in as an intern.
Yep.
I basically was just running around delivering tapes and bringing people to studios, not really doing anything remarkable. And about 2 weeks into the internship, my professor said to me he had to go into the hospital with quadruple bypass surgery. And he said, you're going to have to run the bureau in my absence. And I'm a 19-year-old kid from the Bronx, and my only experience being on radio was calling up the DJ asking for a particular song.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, are you serious? And he said, you can do it. And
Yeah.
I said, but I sound like a 19-year-old kid from the Bronx.
Yeah.
And he said, don't worry, you sound fine. But I was terribly self-conscious, reporting from the UN, interviewing dignitaries and ambassadors and whatnot.
It's a great learning experience.
It was great
kind of
learning.
threw you right in the fire, right?
It did, but I also I was cognizant of what I sounded like. I mean, when you're from the Bronx, everybody sounds like. But once I went to Westchester, everyone said to me, "Oh, you're from New York." It's
Yeah, they knew. Right?
So basically, what am I going to do, especially from the UN? And at that time on the TV one night, there was a British film called A Man for All Seasons. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
No, I haven't.
It's an Academy Award-winning film, and the star of the film was a British actor, Paul Scofield. And it's like, I watched this, I want to sound like him. And so basically tried to give myself diction lessons to get rid of the Bronx way of speaking, because my natural speaking voice is closer to Bugs Bunny than this. And it worked, because for that summer I did all the reporting from the United Nations, and I went out onto the air, and my professor came back and he had me there as a part-time reporter for about 2 years until I graduated from school.
That brings
great.
me to my question. When back to even like when you were 13, what was there anybody that inspired you to become like a reporter? Was there anything that like pushed you in that direction? Somebody you look up to? Or?
Not somebody so much I looked up to, but this was, we're going back into the late 70s. So you're coming off the Watergate era with Woodward and Bernstein, and the whole power of the press in shaping the national narrative. And that sort of interested me. And also, I just loved writing. And as something of an egomaniac, I love to see my name in print. So it all sort of blended together.
That's awesome. That's cool. So then tell us a little bit about your podcast, because you have a podcast, correct?
I have a podcast. It's on SoundCloud called The Online Movie Show. It's a weekly podcast. And one of the many things I've done, I've been a film critic and a film historian for many years. And so I took that from the page to the podcast, and I interview filmmakers and film historians and actors and anyone who has something to say about both classic films and contemporary films.
That's great. That's great. Who were some of the people that you've interviewed? You know,
well, the most famous person I had was Karen Allen, which was nice. If you remember her from Animal House and Raiders of the Lost Ark, she was a lovely person to be with. I've interviewed filmmakers from here in Connecticut, Michael Mangelo, who's made several independent films here in the state. I've interviewed film historians like James Nyber and Troy Haworth, and we cover everything from the silent movies to films that are being made today. We just did an episode with Kevin Dolan, who's an actor and a comic, about women in comedy, whether or not women are taken seriously as the stars of comedy films, going back from the silent era to the stuff that's being made today.
Yeah, it's interesting kind of how that's evolved. You know, there's some great women comedians out there. I think Amy Schumer kind of broke down the door a little bit. I was a fan of her big time when she first came out, but she's kind of tailed off. I don't know.
Nowadays, it's like there's not even a question. You know, with like Whitney Cummings, Eliza Schlesinger, I can't even say her name, and Amy Schumer. Like they dominate the stand-up comedy scene in terms of women. But
it's taken a long
it has,
ways.
for sure.
Who are some of your favorite female comedians?
Well, going back to the classic era, you would go back to the silent years with Alice Howell and Mabel Normand and Marion Davies, who we spoke about, into the talkies, the 30s and 40s, Martha Ray, Betty Hutton, going into Lucille Ball, both in TV and in film.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, so it's been a very long journey, and it's just basically who's been taken seriously, who has longevity. And also, an interesting thing is that a lot of the women who were in comedy wanted to be taken seriously as dramatic performers, whereas a lot of men who are in comedy usually shy away from the drama and just want to be funny.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So you're the author of 8 books. Tell us a little bit about, your writing style and a little bit about the type of stuff that you write about inside.
Well, the books, except for one, are about film history or the film industry. I wrote one book about the public relations industry because I used to run a public relations agency for 10 years. It takes me anywhere from 1 to 2 years to write a book. Wow. I do my own research, being a journalist, so it's second nature. And there's really not much to talk about. It's usually late at night. I'm more creative at that time of the day. Can start at around 8 o'clock and go well past midnight doing that. and it's just one of those things I do. I never really gave much thought as to how I do it. It just is, just sit down and
like
do
breathing,
it.
right?
Yeah.
It's an act of yours that you like to do. So I mean, it's that's great.
And then how did your acting career come about?
Oh yeah.
The acting career came about because I was a film critic, and I was reviewing a lot of independent films, and some of the filmmakers wanted to show their appreciation, so they would give me small roles in the films, which I didn't ask for that, and I didn't expect it. And I got on camera, and I started doing what they wanted, and to their surprise and my surprise, I could act. And so they kept bringing me back, and I kept getting larger roles, and I started getting referrals into other movies as well. I've done about 20 films as an actor, and I've been in about 5 documentary films as myself.
That's awesome, man. That is great. What are some of the films that you've been in?
I don't think you've seen any of them, and
Yeah.
if you have, you would probably want to forget. I was in the Bikini Bloodbath trilogy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I've been in My Mouth Lies Screaming. I've been in Monochromia. I tend to play the creepy villain who gets badly killed
Yeah,
in
right.
movies. In the film process, I was vivisected by a mad surgeon. In Bikini Bloodbath Christmas, I had a claw hammer inserted into a lower orifice and was disemboweled that way.
Sweet.
I've been shot. I've been in car crashes off screen, of course, where my bloody corpse is lying on a table. So that was in Burial Boys, actually. That was quite fun.
You can't find any of these
Chase
on
is
Netflix, can you?
Chase is
You might be able to find them on Amazon Prime. I doubt Netflix
Chase
would
is
touch
just
them.
getting his acting career going now.
Really?
The only role he plays though is impersonating Gary Vaynerchuk. That's all he does. Right?
Well, we're exploring, the depths of my acting.
yeah,
talent.
we do. We actually have a video
Right
project
now,
that we
so-
have to do that we're thinking about making Chase the construction worker.
We're in the
because he's got
discovery phase right now in my
he's-
career. So.
yeah.
But
He keeps trying to give me his rate, and I keep telling him his rate as an actor on one of our video shoots is the same rate as what he is, with his regular position here. He's trying to double dip is what he's trying to do. We got to wear a lot of different hats here, So
Yeah.
co-host, director of business development, so
we do it all.
Well, if he's giving you trouble, I'm available.
yeah, nice.
We'll talk
Nice.
about it later.
Yeah, exactly. So, so tell us a little bit more about what you're doing at the Fairfield County Business Journal. I know they have a lot of great events. They do the 40 Under 40, which is a great event. Tell us a little bit more about about the different things that you.
Well,
guys
the
are doing
company
there.
has a lot of events. You were the guest keynote speaker.
Yeah,
at
you
the
hooked me up with that. Thank you very
40
much.
Under
Appreciate
40.
that. Yep.
And we have we're taping this actually now in November, so our Millennial Awards will be coming up. And actually, mutual
I don't
friend
think I'm gonna be winning that.
Stelios from Cylinder.
Yeah, he's
Vodka,
awesome. Yep.
He won. He's one of the winners of that award.
Oh, that's awesome. And Phil helps us book some guests because obviously he's got a great connection. He's got a great network out there. So he's lined up a lot of really great guests with us, and we really appreciate that. Where is that going to be at the same venue or a different venue?
That's going to be someplace in Stamford. I don't recall which venue it is. But if you go to our website, which is westfaironline.com, you can get all the information on that.
Nice. And what's that event basically going to be?
It's going to be honoring millennials within both the Westchester and Fairfield County regions. So this is specifically for those who fit into the category. 40 under 40 could go anywhere from Gen Z through millennials, but this one is strictly for that demographic.
That's great. And how many are they going to nominate? Do you know? Or
I don't know offhand. I think we have about 50
Yeah.
who have already won, and it's been announced.
yeah, the 40 under 40 event was great. Like, a lot of times those events, they're kind of hit or miss. I thought the way that it went was great. Like just the flow of it. Obviously the keynote was amazing. I mean, that guy
His
really,
speech was fire.
that guy, that guy was amazing. But just the way that it flew kind of put together and everything. The fact that everybody got to say a couple words, I thought was pretty cool. And the MC of the event, what was his name? Matt Scott.
Matt
I think?
Scott, yes.
Yeah, he was great. He was really funny. He was
Yeah.
really funny. So that was a great event, and we definitely want to attend the other one as well to support our boy Stelios.
What are some? Oh, go
I was
ahead.
going to say you were actually just slugging some vodka on Friday before we left the office.
Well, we did Sober October.
so we hadn't tried cylinder vodka yet. So when we
You
were
haven't
getting,
tried it yet.
Well, we did on Friday.
No, I tried it.
Yeah, we
You
did on
didn't try
Friday.
I tried it.
Him and Tommy tried it.
I tried it.
I'm not just going to slug it out of the bottle. I need to
We were waiting. I
drink
was
it
waiting,
in a nice
yeah.
glass and treat it like the tender little baby that it is.
That's how I test vodka.
He acted
is I
like a college
just
child.
Slug it right out of the bottle because that's
When I
normally
when I
drink
interviewed Stelios for the Fairfield County Business Journal, because I did an article on Cylinder, he brought out a bottle, opened it, and he asked me if I wanted to taste it, and I gave a taste. And I
you
said,
finished the bottle? I'm just
no,
kidding.
I said to him that, I've been drinking vodka since I was 13, and this is one of the best I've had.
Yeah.
And he looked at me very strangely. He said, where are you from?
Yeah.
small town Connecticut.
Yeah, right?
There's nothing to do.
That's so funny.
What are some interesting stories that you've covered? I mean, either this year or just throughout your career. Like, what is the most interesting? Some of the ones that pop out to you.
Oh, God, there have been so many stories that I've done as a journalist. Back at the United Nations, I got to meet Jesse Jackson and Bishop Desmond Tutu.
Oh,
and
wow.
was able to interview them, which was obviously for somebody who was 19 and 20 years old, it was just extraordinary. With the Fairfield County Business Journal, I did a story about a secondhand store in Norwalk called Euphoria. I actually found it on Craigslist and went over there. It's nowhere near the Sono. It's a bit of a gritty working class area. And I met the lady who ran it, and she was this wonderful grandmotherly type who took a true interest in the community. She was telling how there was a woman who had come in. She was just coming out of a shelter for battered women, and she didn't have a place to stay or furniture. And this store owner arranged to get her an apartment and get her a bed and a mattress. And it was just so wonderful that there are people out there who can go, and will go not even the extra mile, just the extra 100 miles.
Yeah,
in this
that's
case.
amazing.
And that was one of my favorite articles. Actually,
story.
the article won an award from the Connecticut Society of Professional Journalists. So I was
Awesome.
happy for that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, something like that. We have a third publication at West Fair Communications called WAG Magazine, which is a monthly lifestyle magazine. And I've been able to write about everything from stamp collecting, which was just in the last issue, because that was a hobby when I was a kid, to writing about local cultural centers, writing about a fellow who has a drag queen entertainment business here in the state. So it was interesting because the editor of that magazine, it was an April edition. That was our animal edition. We have a theme for each issue. And she said, what can you come up with for animals? And I said, how about party animals?
Yeah.
And so the drag queens are in the, edition with all the
That's funny.
dogs and cats and other pets.
That's funny. That's nice, man. And then you also do, you wear so many hats, Phil. It cracks me up. You're writing books. You're tasting the vodka. You're writing stories about vodka. And then you have the podcast, and then you also do Nutmeg Chatter.
Yes.
Which is a radio program that has been going on for a while, but you just started hosting recently?
Myself and Rich Sear took over as co-hosts.
Okay.
Joseph Timothy Quirk was the founder of the show, and he still produces it. But he gave the hosting duties to the two of us, and actually the two of you were both on the show. And that was a lot
fun. It was cool.
Yeah, we recorded out of WAPJ in Torrington, and it's syndicated around the state of Connecticut, and it's also heard online at nutmegchatter.com. We just had the new episode that came up was Corey Riemann, who is a singer-songwriter
Musician,
here.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
he
I
was
saw
that was a lot of fun to do, and he performed a couple of numbers live. Actually, it was recorded, but he was live in the studio.
Yeah.
And it was we have Glenn Roth, who was a instrumentalist, who's going to be coming up in an upcoming edition, and he's performing on the air too. So I'm going to be booking more guests into December and January. I'd like to get a lot more musicians because it's a lot of fun to have live music on the show.
I can imagine. Yeah. We got to try that sometime.
Glenn Roth, that name sounds familiar. I feel like
You might have seen him on Facebook. He does a lot of Facebook Live.
Right.
He performs all over the world. He actually does busker shows down at Grand Central Station.
Oh, that's cool.
And broadcasts them on Facebook. So
I like that. I like his style. I like that. That's
yeah. We know someone who's good at busking.
Yeah, Mr. Cowboy, Mr. Naked Cowboy.
We had him on. Did you know we did an interview in Times Square?
I saw it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. So before we wrap up and get into Mac Move or Whack Move, kind of put you on the spot. Movie of the year 2019. What do you got?
Oh dear, I wouldn't even know where to start.
Avengers.
I mean, I don't go to see a lot of the contemporary
Traditional.
films, no, because my focus in my writing is more historic and independent. So I'm not really one for comic book films or reboots of Disney flicks.
Yeah, it seems like that's what a lot of it is, right? Like that's what a lot of it seems to be. But obviously there are there are other movies that come out, but it seems like the remakes and the comic stuff are like really what's kind of driving the movie
I have to
scene.
say that I'm sort of interested in seeing just what Cats is going to look like, because the trailer of that was just so
Terrifying.
atrocious. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And it's just, if this is what 2 minutes of this stuff is like, I can't imagine what 2 hours is going to be.
Yeah, right.
It's scary.
Yeah.
All right, so Phil, thank you so much. We're going to hand you this sign. Thank you so much for telling us about your story. And now we're going to transition into our favorite part of the program, Chase's favorite part of the program, Mack Move or Whack Move. Chase is going to read off some topics, and we are going to decide individually whether it is a Mack move or a Whack move. So, Chase, go ahead and read us the first one.
All right, so the first story is a digitally resurrected James Dean.
You'll like this one.
So they're resurrecting celebrities from the dead using technology, and casting them in movies. You might have seen this in movies like Star Wars, the latest Star Wars, where they an old actor from one of the original films who passed away made a debut in that film. But basically, what it is a hologram or a digitally created image overlaid onto the film. What do you think of this? I mean, is this a Mack move or a Whack move?
This actually goes exactly
Should we
with
be
what,
resurrecting these?
This goes exactly with what I was just saying. Like, everything is remanufactured to what it used to be. Like, let's get some original content.
Yeah.
Can we get some original content? And who gets the money is the state, right?
The estate would get the money.
The estate
yes.
would get the
Yeah.
money. I think that, it's bad enough that we got to see Arnold Schwarzenegger doing, like, number 80.
Terminator.
Somebody needs to CGI him in Terminator, make him look a little
do.
younger again.
They make him look jacked.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've seen some.
Did you see it?
What's her name? Linda Hamilton?
Yeah.
They need to CGI her. She does not look so great. I'm just saying. Like,
Jeez, dude.
maybe they shouldn't be doing it, is what I'm saying. Like, maybe they should stop making it. So I'm going to go Whack move on that one. I'm not down with it. Like, let's create some new content. Let's create some new celebrities. Like, Leo's still alive, right? Why we got to bring back James Dean? Leo's still around, right?
Yeah.
What do you got, Phil?
I have to. Well, first of all, it's not really an original idea. They've been doing this in concert with. I did with Michael Jackson. I think they did this with Elvis.
You're right. Yep.
But I'm going to have to say Whack move,
Yep.
because quite frankly, I don't think anybody younger than me knows who James Dean is,
Yeah.
and would really care. So, what's the point of it?
I think they know the other James Dean. I think he's in a different industry. But anyway, Chase, what do you have?
Whack move. I mean, there's something about the magic of those old movies that I don't think you need to resurrect. It just kind of ruins it. Like, if you watch a movie like On the Waterfront with Marlon Brando, it's like, I don't want to see them bring that movie back, do a remake, put him in the movie. Like, it's just keep the magic pure and clean and
Whack move
unadulterated.
all around. Once we get our soundboard, there's going to be a button on there that we hit. It's probably going to be Steve Ballmer saying something crazy.
Yeah.
Whenever we do Whack move
Unanimous,
all around. Unanimous decision on the Whack move for that topic. Chase,
All right.
number 2.
Next topic. So Kevin Durant and other NBA stars are investing in a new program called Overtime. And it basically connects camera people who would then go and attend high school and some college sporting events that don't get a lot of coverage. So these are, let's say there's a superstar like a young LeBron James coming up in high school. You want to watch his games because you hear all the hype around him. They will connect a video person with that event. They'll go and film it, and then you can go and watch it on this platform. It's getting investment from, I think, Carmelo Anthony, Kevin Durant, a former NBA executive. So they're all getting behind this idea. So the Mack move or Whack move is, what do you think of this idea of Overtime? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's a good business model, good business idea? Mack move or Whack move?
I'm gonna
Overtime.
go Whack move. I don't know too much about it, but when LeBron was popular, like, they'll go and find him. Like, the major news agencies will go there. I guess this is for, like, the lower level athletes.
Yeah.
This isn't really for, like, the LeBrons out there, because ESPN was there covering his games, like all of his games. So
It's hard to make a comparison, but yeah.
you know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't know. I feel as though this might, like, I think Whack move, But I feel as this might roll into helping them market these athletes for this new NCAA rule where they're allowed to, I think it'll roll them into that. So, I think I just changed my mind. I talked myself into it because of that reason. I just realized that. So I'm actually going to do a switcheroo, which will have a button for that too. And I'm going to go Mack move because I think they're going to snowball this into when the kid gets a lot of views, they can put that as analytics for when they go and try to sell like a car dealership.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To get for the kid's likeness when he goes to college.
Right.
So you got to get these kids younger and younger and younger nowadays. I guess that's how it is. So.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Phil, what do you got?
From what I've heard of it, this is the first time I've heard of the story, I'm going to go with a Mack move. I think being a media professional, any coverage is good coverage as long as you're not throwing the basketball at the coach's head.
Yeah, right.
So if you could find the LeBrons of tomorrow, more power to them.
Yeah. All right, cool. What do you got?
I think whack move, just because, I'm no data scientist here, but I just don't think that it's going to be profitable. There's just not enough people that I think are out there willing to pay money to watch, high school players. It's
but they're not going to pay money. They're going to make the money on the advertising.
It's like here's an extreme example, but like you go to watch, one of Macy's soccer games.
I knew he was going to.
And you're like, this is just so, it's just so slow. And there's not high school. It's like there's a very fine line. Like yes, there's standout athletes, amazing athletes that you kind of want to watch, but it's like no one's gonna want to watch that, at least not for long. I mean, it's unprofessional.
Yeah.
It's not. It's less than amateur.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
They're gonna watch highlight reels. That's what they're gonna watch. They're gonna watch the highlight reel of it, of the dunk. They don't want to watch the whole game. That's what you're saying.
Okay.
Just want to watch highlights. All right, that's topic number 2. Topic number 3 is what, sir?
Topic number 3. Microsoft tries 4-day work weeks, and productivity jumped 40%.
I don't understand this. You take a day of work away and they work harder? Is that what you're saying? How many hour days are the days? Are they working the same amount of hours?
No, the hours are extended on the 4 days that they work.
Okay.
So they're extended a little bit. And also you get better quality work out of the people, the employees. So it's just an experiment. I think they tried it in a trial version at a company, I think in California, at one of their satellite offices, and it's going really well.
Well, if they're getting the same amount of work done or more, they're getting more work done, I'm going to have to go Mack move. Like, how could you not? I mean, I can't be a jerk and be like, make them work a 5th day. I mean, it sounds like it's working, and where else you save money? You turn off the lights and you save all the energy money too. So now you're up another probably 5%.
I like this idea.
See that?
I'm starting to like this.
What do you got, Phil?
Well, as much as I like to goof off from work, I'm going to have to say whack move because this isn't going to work in every single environment. Certainly, if you're running a retail store, you're not going to be closing on Fridays.
True that.
Also, too, if you're working the extended hours, I don't know how much extended it is, but then there's going to be more pressure to make up for what you have to do. I don't know the exact details of what Microsoft went through, but to me, if I wanted to be in this kind of a leisurely environment, I'd move to France.
Yeah, true that.
Anything goes over there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think for this one, I'm going to have to go with whack move.
That was a last-second buzzer
I'm probably
shot.
I'm probably the only millennial that would say something like that. Like
Yeah,
all the
'cause
other
that's a
millennials are
millennial
like,
thing.
can we please have a 3-day weekend?
But that's why you drink Coors Light. You're an old millennial.
This is the
bro.
deal, though. I mean, it's competition. The people who work harder and work more hours are gonna win out over. Yes, I get where you work smarter, not harder. That's a whole thing, right? But I could see this working in a job where creativity is in high demand, and you have to constantly be coming back with a new perspective or new creative energy every week. But in jobs where you're in competition with somebody else, the person that works harder and works more hours is gonna win.
We'll always prevail.
So it depends on what. It's a Mack move if you're in that particular industry, but it's a whack move for everyone
he
else.
did a twosies on us. He did a twosies.
Yeah,
All right.
just like kind of what Phil was saying.
All right. So that was topic 3. This is topic 4, which is what?
Topic number 4. Google is gathering personal health data on millions of Americans in an effort to team up and get into the healthcare field.
Of course they are.
So we kind of all knew that this was happening already because Google has all my information. Like at this point, I've laid down.
They know everything.
I've laid down and I've given them everything. So you know what? I mean, I gotta say, Mack move. I trust him.
I'm gonna go
to be consistent.
I'm gonna go whack move because I'm like, yo, can I get some HIPAA protection up in here? Does HIPAA not apply to Google because Google is just too big for HIPAA? Is that the way that it works?
Yeah.
Like I don't feel that that's really okay. You know what I mean? Because then they're gonna start getting into just other. What are they going to have? Were they going to sell healthcare too?
I think they're positioning themselves to replace the government.
Yeah, I think so.
Like they really are.
Yeah,
that's what this is.
Between them and Amazon. Phil, what do you got?
I'm going to go with whack move because I want my healthcare and private information with Bing, not with Google.
I like it.
Zing.
That's a good one. I like it. That's a good one. All right, this is a good. Actually, I don't know that Phil would care about this one, but we'll find out. Chase, go ahead with the last topic, known as topic number 5.
All right, so Disney Plus just launched. If you have Verizon Wireless, then you're able to download the app for free for a year. But then after that, you have to do $60.99 a year, or excuse me, $6.99 per month after the trial's over. And then, so you get all the Disney classics on this. You get the old movies, you get the new ones. They're going to be the first streaming service that has the new 4K HD version of the Star Wars movies, which is a big draw. They have Marvel in there. A lot of really, really super popular, super successful franchises are going to be in there. But it's off to a rocky start. This news article says that it's crashing for some people. Some shows are not available.
They're working out the bugs here.
Yeah, they're working out the bugs, and they may have launched this prematurely. But what do you think about all these new... Is it Mack Move or Whack Move, basically, on what do you think of all these new streaming services? Peacock is NBC's new streaming service. DAZN just got into the game, or DAZN just got into the game with sports. Mack Move or Whack Move, or DAZN.
Phil, what do you got? We'll start with you.
We'll start with me. I'm going to go with whack move because I'm really not into the streaming services. That's just me. Call me a Luddite. And actually, it's not all of the Disney classics because Song of the South is still not available, although somebody did sneak it online without Disney being aware of it. So you can get to see.
A little racist.
Yeah.
You know that song?
No.
Zippity doo dah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty. I can understand why they didn't.
I am going to go Mack Move. Listen, they're making a move to get into the industry. There's a lot of money to be made on this streaming stuff. It's out there. They got the money to do it. I'm going to go Mack Move for that, but, I'm going to go with a twosies. It's a whack move that their shit's not together. Like, have your shit together when you launch. You're Disney. Like, what do you do when you put out a ride? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, does it have a lot of bugs in it when you go on the,
Yeah.
Is it like, I don't understand.
It's a money grab. It's a rush to get.
Yeah, but listen, they've got the content.
Yeah.
They own a shit ton of content, so they might as well do it, right?
And you notice if you are a subscriber to Netflix and stuff, like they've been pulling for the past 4 years, they've been pulling down all their content from that and then consolidating it all into Disney Plus. So this is a big move.
Just get your shit together, I think. What
do
you think?
I like it's a Mack move because I'm a big fan of like all these new streaming services because I don't want the cable package that they try to run down your throat.
This kid loves subscription services. That's the millennial in him.
Yeah, but I don't pay for any of them. I just steal other people's accounts.
Yeah.
So
don't say that, bro. I heard Netflix is actually gonna be doing away with that multiple account login too. I heard about that.
You know what my favorite Disney movie is?
What's that?
The Story of Menstruation.
What?
Look it up on YouTube. Look it up on YouTube, folks.
Look it up on YouTube, folks.
The Story of Menstruation, made in 1946. It was produced by Disney for the Kotex Company.
Okay. Give us a little bit more context about...
I think I heard about
this. It's a 10-minute cartoon, basically to teach kids what menstruation is all about, and it was financed by Kotex, and this was in schools well into the 70s. It was made in 1946.
Wow. That's so rough around the edges, probably, no?
Yeah,
or is it just really vague, extra vague? Some of that?
No, actually, it's the first time the word vagina ever appeared in a movie.
Yes. We need to do a whole episode about that.
Yeah.
About vaginas?
That's crazy. I saw something about that. Disney for a while was producing educational films for these companies, and there's some pretty wacky content.
Well into the 1970s. They did one about VD as well, I think, for the U.S. Army.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
You might have seen some of them in school. I think I saw some weird shit in school, they tried to use cartoons to teach you stuff.
What, like 5 years ago, bro?
And it was, when I was in middle school and high school.
Okay. All right. Well, that is going to conclude this episode. Chase has a lot of appointments that he needs to catch up on. He's got to call some people. He's got to sell some shit. Phil's got to go. He's got to go write another 5 books and drink some more vodka. Right? Yep. And me, I'm going to go take a nap on the couch out there. No, I'm just kidding. We know I don't do that. We know that. I'm going to grab some lunch. I'm going to grab maybe a Jersey Mike's.
I'm going to Popeyes to get a chicken sandwich.
No, you're not going to Popeyes, dude. I'm not. I cannot have my number one guy getting hurt. That shit, the shit that's going down at Popeyes is...
Julio said it's good.
I know, but it's shady, bro. You got to go there with our Secret Service guys that we got for the Trump thing that we did.
Yeah.
You're going to need some protection, bro.
Yeah,
it's rough at those Popeyes. People are getting killed. People are getting run over.
Yeah.
It's tough out there.
All right.
So, all right,
we got to drop Mr. Rogers over here off at the senior living. All right.
Let's
wrap this up.
Chase is going to go ahead and close us out. He's going to give our information. He's going to give Phil's information. If he forgets anything, Phil, feel free to jump in and chime in.
Yeah, definitely let me know if there's anything I'm missing. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Please subscribe to our podcast on YouTube. We're on SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio. Find us on Facebook, the Mack Talks, on Instagram at MACK Talks. Go to our website if you want to see everything all at once. It's www.themacktalks.com. Phil, if you want to see any of his stuff, go to Western Connecticut, or excuse me, Fairfield County Business Journal. You could read some of his articles on there. Find him on Facebook. Nutmeg Chatter is also on Facebook, correct? And then his the online movie show is on SoundCloud. That's his podcast. Phil, did I miss anything you want to throw out?
I also write for Cinema Crazed, which you can find at cinema-crazed.com. It's also on Facebook as well. Fairfield County Business Journal is online at westfaironline.com, one word. And there might be some other stuff, but I think we've run out of time.
Yeah. All right, cool. Phil, thank you. Next time, guys.
Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Take it easy.